Hey there and welcome back. So yes, I know, I'm just so excited for this. I have saved up for this. I messaged my local shop, which is the Ashton Model Centre, and asked if they were getting any of these in, and they had one of them in stock, and I was able to go down and get it. Let's just say it's been running, I've tested it, and wow. So as you can see, this is Hornby's brand new Prince of Wales with the XXX sound fitted and Hornby's steam generator. I hope you stay tuned for this one, guys, because this is a good one. I'm so excited for this. Right, so without further ado, let's look at the model. And here it is. Now, people did say they preferred the other camera, but for this video you are going to have to make do with the older camera as well, because obviously using the app I will have to control the train with the app. So yeah, I am going to use this older camera, but I'm hoping that this will just, you know, look absolutely brilliant. So here we have it. Now this, I love the name of this, Prince of Wales, and obviously this is based on the one that's being restored. And if we just pop this to like that, you can see it's got Hornby's brilliant connection. What they are finally copying everybody else. We've got that lovely motion, and it's a great way to join locomotives together and join them close. I will point out one thing. Unfortunately, as I was looking at this, it just simply wasn't glued in properly. The door has come off this side, so it may, you know, every once in a while you will get a slight error or a slight something happened. So a little bit of glue, this will go back on. This isn't by no means an issue, and yeah, it's just a little one of those things. Now, the price what I paid for this, again, got it from Ashton Models, and I paid £275 for this. Now, as we all know, locomotives, trains, etc., you know, prices are jumping up. But when you see this, what it does, what it has, £300, honestly, I think this is an absolute bargain. A genuine bargain from Hornby, because if you take into account the decoder what's fitted into this, you buy one of those, that's £65. So if you take that away from, say, the price what I paid for this, so that then takes it down to £210. You then take into account that this isn't just a railroad model, it's a more premium model with all, as you can see, the extra details, which we will get into a lot closer in just a moment. And if you also take into the account that the steam generator, what they fitted into this, and you know how it, you know, people fit steam generators, you know, there are places what charge for fitting steam generators. I'm talking about not the really good ones. I'm talking about like the Sooth generators. It's, yeah, you are talking quite a bit of money for somebody to fit those if you're not able to do this yourself. So taking all that into account, this I truly believe is a absolute bargain of a locomotive, especially in today's market. So let's get the other camera out, because I can use that for this one, and then let's get this up close and let's check out all this amazing detail on this locomotive. Okay, so close-up camera on, and let's have a look at this. And let's start with the tender first. So, as we can see, yes, that is missing. I am going to refix that just with a little bit of glue. As you can see there, again, it is nothing against this logo whatsoever. So we can see we've got 3 very finely and lovely picked out dials. You can see the little hole in the access door there, looking through to the coal load. You can see the coal load chute there, and no, that doesn't move for anything, but that would have been lovely. You can see that you have these storage boxes. You've got these separately fitted grab handles, which look amazing. You've got the steps on either side. You have got your coupling as you would on the front of the locomotive, just the back part to match up with it. Then as we go around, you can see there, what is this little bit here? That's just a little bit of dust. You can see how wonderfully amazing this livery has been applied. This looks so, so good. We've got the axles. All the red what's picked out around the axle boxes looks fantastic. And if we get in closer, we can see there's even detail on the end of the axle boxes, where you've got the A1 time can, it looks like. And then obviously you've got your leaf springs. If we move this locomotive round, let's see, we have springy buffers. We have a NEM coupling already fitted to the back. As you can see there, you've got your lamp iron locations all across the back. You've got separately fitted steps, more grab handles. Your vacuum pipes are already fitted, which is great. You've got your steps on the rear again, and look how crisp and clean that lining has been done along the back. This is an absolute amazing looking locomotive, and this is just the tender. So guys, this is an absolute stonker, this one. Yeah, I don't know why I just said that word, but I'm hoping that you'll understand by watching all of this just why I'm so excited about this locomotive. You see again exactly the same on this side. Yeah, that's just like my fingerprint a little bit, so I do apologize about that. If we turn it over, we have got a wonderful, wonderful looking coal load. Then we have your water here. Does that... No, that doesn't open, unfortunately. And you know what? Yeah, a real coal load in there will look amazing. And I do have some. I can definitely see myself changing this. And yeah, that will look really nice when I do that. And also, there's a fair little bit of weight in this too. There is a weight at the bottom, and in here you have your decoder and your speaker fitted all ready for you. Okay, so let's move that to one side. So that was the tender. Now let's get to the good bit. Let's get to the locomotive itself. Now, the main loco, and here is where it just gets even better. So as we can see, we have a amazing looking Prince of Wales logo here. What is on the side? There you go. That's just another little bit of fluff what's got on it. As we can see there, the lining, the colour on this is so wonderfully, wonderfully applied and well done. There is a little bit of a line here from the moulding, but the second that you move this loco away a tiny bit, you don't really notice that at all. And yeah, that is nothing to take note of, really. It is fantastic. Going down to the front, we have our springy buffers. Moving it round, so you've got there again the lining, the way this looks is immaculate. We've got the wonderful 2007 number there. You can see there's a tiny little bit of water on the front. That's because of the water tank, which I will come to and show you very shortly. As we can see, we've got plenty of detail. As you can see, the detail on this has been really, really picked out well. It looks like, you know, they have definitely gone to town with this thing. The lining around the wheels looks absolutely impeccable. This locomotive is so good, and it was so worth the wait. And yeah, I'm not meaning to sound super biased or anything like that, but this is just something extra, something special. We do have our flat wheels here. Now the downside to those, I still don't like the way that these just slide around, but you know, this is the way that most locomotives are made now. So yeah, we've just got to deal with that, I'm afraid. But you do get a set what you can replace these with if this is going to be static, or maybe even if this is just going to run forwards and backwards along a straight piece of track, then you have got that option as well. And when you get round to the back, you can see there you've got the other part of this coupling, which is absolutely fantastic. And you see that little shine there on the firebox. This does have a flickering firebox as well, and this looks really wonderful. My only maybe little niggle is, see the door on the smoke box there? It would have been nicer for that to be angled up a little bit more, but I understand why they've done like the half open. It would have let a bit more light out, but it does have a wonderful effect on it anyway. And as you can see, just look at the amount of detail what they've packed into here. They've picked out everything. Yes, I did stutter then because I couldn't remember what that is on the left hand side, so you'll have to forgive me. But they have picked out so much with this locomotive. The dials, you can see on the dials there that there is, in fact, how close can I get with this camera? It actually looks to me, yeah, there are numbers on there. They're just so incredibly small that you just cannot read them. But that is how much detail that they've gone into with this locomotive. And yeah, you can see there's a tiny little bit of overspill from the paint. There's a little tiny mark on that pipe there, which is a little unfortunate. But let's face it, when this locomotive is running around, you aren't really looking that much into the cab. So apart from them couple of little bits there, well, you know, I will point out, you know, it is, you know, I try to be as honest as I can with when I do a review. You know, it's no big deal, but I understand. Well, it's no big deal for me, but I do understand where people could, you know, say, oh yeah, I'm not so keen on that, and that is completely fair enough. As you can see here, we've got a metal kick plate, which does move, it does articulate, and you can see just by the shine that it is all metal. If we move around, we have got the glazed windows as well, and I really like this little bit on the side here. That's open. The lining around the window is absolutely amazing. If we go to the top, we do not have one or two, but we have 4 sliding and opening roof panels, which again is absolutely amazing. I'll just pop this here for a second. We have 2 metal whistles on this, which look fantastic. And then the same on this side. If we bring this nice and close, we can see all the detail on here, what's been picked out. You can see again just how well that this has all been made and been put together. Come back around to the front with that smoke box. It's a shame that this is plastic. It's not been, you know, painted on metal. Not painted on metal, sorry. It's not been separately fitted with metal, but you know what, it looks really good. And then as you can see there from down the side, that's a good little shot, we can see that these pipes have also been separately fitted, even on this side. And then if we go around on this side, yeah, these ones are plastic, but it's not the end of the world, and we've got plenty of detail in there. So what an absolute wonderful looking locomotive. It looks stunning, and there's just so much extra to this. So what I will do, I'll cut back to the old camera. I'm going to recouple this, and again, as we can see, how easy and how close that fitting is. That is absolutely fantastic. So we'll leave this in the background while we go over the other bits and pieces. Okay, so apart from the locomotive, what else do we get with this set? Now, let's have a look at this detail pack. We have two, and it's a shame that these are plastic, or they certainly look like, yes, they are plastic, but we have two wonderful nameplates to go on the side. Although they are plastic, they are really nicely made. We have our runaway wheel set. This is the wheel set for static, or for if you are just going to run this on a straight track. We have our brake rigging. These wheels are just running away. Let's pop them like that. We have I need to find out what this is. We have this nice little thing, whatever it is. And what I do find, what is so good with this, now bearing in mind, if you were to buy these, you know, you would pay, say, a good £11–12 upwards for a set of these. So you're talking at least £2 or £3 per painted model, as I decide to throw the poor guy down. And come on with the camera. There we go. So we have not only one, yes, I was my hand searching around as I couldn't see where it was. We have two drivers that we can fit into this, and he really doesn't want to show himself, does he? He's now currently gone from being on the table to completely and utterly on the floor. As we can see there, we've got two guys, and these have got a great amount of detail painted onto them. These are going to look fantastic if you choose to fit them. Now let's just get the rest of this out. We have a set of steps with this. We have two sets of steps. The others are just to one side to go on the front. We have our drain valves to fit to the front as well. Now the only thing that I do find with these is I find that with certain models that these do catch. So unfortunately, unless this is going to be static or just straight run, these may catch, so just be wary of them. If they don't, absolutely fantastic. And then we have the NEM coupling for the front. And then one thing with this, now let me just take this one off again. Just apologise while the big hand comes in, and it probably goes a little bit blurry for you, but you get two chimneys with this. Now your first one is, you know, your normal chimney. This is how the locomotive should look, but when you are running the steam generator, it says that this one needs to be fitted. Now it just tells you that this needs to be fitted. It doesn't actually give a reason why. Now my only possible reasoning is because of this in the middle, so it doesn't cause any damage. Maybe, you know, there could be too much vapor onto this which could run back. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, I don't quite know why you have to change over to this one, but I will have like a second look through the book, see if I can see. So yeah, I'm not sure on this one, but anyway, to run it normally without steam is this. To run it with steam, it is this one. So now let me just, I mean, these do come in and out so easily, as you can see there. It took seconds to put this back in. So let's just move these to one side for a moment, because what you also do get with this is that you get the long pipette for filling the locomotive with water. Now I need to find that because that's currently gone missing. Bear with me one second. Right, we found it. I left it by the layout. So you get a pipette with this. Now this goes up to 5 millilitres, which is the maximum capacity of the tank that you shouldn't overfill. And as you can see, that is quite a lot. Let's have a look at our manuals. Now, it is still paper, don't get me wrong, but look, we're actually getting a little bit of colour on this, so this is really cool. So it tells you there how you can hook up power to the track. Now, if you have a Hornby DCC Select controller, then if that is plugged into the track, then that gives you the same amount of power what you need for this locomotive. You don't need to just have this, obviously, because it's Bluetooth. So yeah, you can have the Select plugged in so you can run other locomotives alongside this one. Absolutely fantastic. So you can see here that you've got your instructions about your Bluetooth. And what is cool with this one, because this is pre-programmed out of the box, that it gives you your numbers for your function. So if you choose to pop this onto DCC instead of Bluetooth, then that is fantastic. So you can definitely choose your own. As you can see there, you've got some more functions and everything there. It tells you a lot of what you're going to get. So that's actually really nice with how in-depth that is. Again, you've just got a basic overlay with some more instructions there, and then you've got a basic running. I'm just trying to do this a little bit slowly so you can pause it if you wish to have a read, and hopefully by doing it slower it won't come out all blurry. There we go. And obviously with this one being a steam generator, you also get the booklet about the steam generator as well. So as we can see, here is our other book. Now it does say obviously about running in as well. If you see all of that. And here, now this is what I am liking about this. This is quite a good little bit of a manual what you've got here. So if we can see your lubrication points, your decoder and sound fitting, and like I mentioned before, as you can see there, your speaker and your decoder are already fitted into this. You do not need to fit them. Your sugar cube is under there, and it does give a really nice sound, but that is how you would take off the underside of that. If we move along to this part, you see here it tells you exactly what everything is, what you get with it separately. Apart from the pipette for the water, you have your drivers. It shows you where the little parts go as your extras, and there it shows you how to change your wheel, which is good. It's just one simple little screw to change that axle. And as you can see, your NEM coupling in the front should you wish to have it there, and then you've got the choice of your two, well sorry, not the choice, I do apologise, you have your two chimney fittings for running without the smoke and with the smoke. So let's just move on to the next one. Let me make sure I've got the right bit. Yes, I have. It shows you there the coupling. Now this is the important bit, and I will take a second to go over this. So as you can see here, user supplied 5mm pipette to put water into the reservoir. So when you are using this locomotive, make sure that it is just water, that it isn't, you know, you're not trying to put any like smoke oil or anything like that in this, because I'm assuming that it could damage the components inside, because again, this is water. And with the water, one thing what is really cool, so if we can just get a quick, yes, it's focused really quick now, thank you for doing that. With this being water, I was curious. Now when you put, you know, with the other ones it uses heat to vaporize the oil, and obviously if you were to do that there would be a lot of heat. You need insulated ones to go on the top here. so it doesn't damage or melt the body. So I thought, well, this is water. Is it kind of the same thing? So I gently did that with my hand, and as it's running, you actually feel it's cold. So it's vaporizing the cold water. So I'm not 100% sure how this works, and believe me when I say this locomotive is never going to come apart unless something happens with it, because I do not want to damage whatever wonderfulness they've done in here to make it do what it does. But again, I am curious as to how, you know, they've achieved this. So as we can see, and I'll bring the locomotive into shot in a minute, you take the front off, and then that little gap there is where you fill your locomotive with water. And if we just see here to this bit, as you can see, just a bit of a like a red kind of warning sort of thing that, you know, these are things that you must do just to make sure that everything's done, everything's safe. But it does say there, if you do overfill the locomotive, the exit may become blocked with water. So if that does happen, then you just soak up the little bit of excess water, being very careful, and everything should be okay. If we go to the back bit, we've just got a little bit of the extras where you can find Hornby to follow online. Absolutely brilliant. And that is just a little bit more information on the back. So that is everything from the booklet. Now, the front of this locomotive, so I'm just going to slide this around here so you can see that. Let me just do this, I do apologise. So here we have the front of our locomotive. Let's just get a bit closer in on this. Now, there is a little bit of a thing with this locomotive. Camera, please focus. There we go. Now, you do have to be careful with this. Unlike the Dapo ones, where you get the little plastic bar, where you can just gently get underneath and flick the front off, this is a bit more tricky. Obviously, you've got your smoke deflectors either side. So what I've found I'm having to do is kind of use this top bar here, just very gently to pull this off. Now, I will say this does come off nice and easily. Now, you don't have to force it off. It's a gentle fitting, but if you can see there, you've got the magnet to hold it on. So you don't need to worry about this coming off. So as we're looking into here, let me just move this slightly for the light. You can see there that that is your filling hole. Now, as you can see, it is a hole. Yes, I know that is very obvious. But when you are storing this locomotive, you must be incredibly careful. I mean, a little bit like you would with any smoke generator. If you are carrying this around, it does say in the instructions, if you are doing any maintenance, to make sure that this chamber or this tank is completely empty. And yeah, you know, there is a good reason why, because it could come out, not only can it come out of here, but there's a big hole there and there's nothing to cover that up with. It's going to pour out the front. It could get all over your locomotive. So yeah, you want to make sure that you're careful when you're handling this. You know, if you're transporting it, don't put it on its side in the box or anything like that. Make sure that this thing is upright. Now, the one bit of advice what I would say, now we all know what happens with water. It can go, you know, or not, it can go, it will go stagnant, it will go off. So what I would recommend from my point of view is that when you're finished with this locomotive, unless you're going to run it within a day or so or something like that, or you literally going to run it till you empty the tank on it, I would highly suggest gently tipping this locomotive forward and doing it very slowly. I'm not going to do it on camera, but just tipping it gently forward like this. And then the front bogie, if you move that to one side, then you'll find that the water will, when it comes out of here, so just go on this plastic and it will just go forward, and then you shouldn't get near anywhere that it shouldn't do. And also as well, if you do need to take the water out, yes, you can pop this pipette in, so just like that, and you can take out some of the water. But just to get those last little bits out, you could always do this, and then obviously make sure it's dry. So I just wanted to point that out as a good little idea. So yeah, that is the Hornby P2 with the smoke generator. Now there is already water in this. This is why I'm being super careful. And now comes a good bit. So I can't help that. I'm so excited with this. It runs brilliant. So let's move all the rubbish to one side. We will get the test track down. We will plug in our power supply. And then let's have a look at this going. Right, okay, so I was trying this out, and obviously because of the steam or the smoke, yeah, the white background wasn't the best. So I've just popped the packaging when it came in behind it just to show you. So good thing, the amount of packaging what came with this, absolutely fantastic. So as you can see, we've got our app in front of us open. There we have our print of Wales. So I'll just move this so you can look at what you actually want to see. So what we will do, we'll leave the sound off for now. Now there is one thing that I'm not sure with this, and that is obviously the soothed smoke generators, you can normally turn them on and off, separate from having sound with the Locomotive. Now I don't know if this is safe to run without any water in, to create the smoke. Yeah, it doesn't say anywhere to don't run it without anything in, but typically, a smoke unit you wouldn't run without no oil in. So I'm assuming that the same applies to this. However, I'm not 100% sure. That may be something that I need to check up on. If it can, then that is fantastic. There's no panic on if it runs out, trying to get to it, turning it off straight away sort of thing, so it doesn't burn out. So yeah, but that is something that I do need to check up on. So before we get moving, let's just have a look at this at a crawl. So let's set this to 1 on our controller and just have a look how incredibly smooth that is. That is ridiculous. That is literally on 1. And as you can hear, there is no noise from that whatsoever. This is incredible. So the functions are exactly the same as you get with a normal triple X sound Locomotive. This has the automatic function. So let's turn that on, and as you can see straight away that the smoke comes on. And let's just set this to a nice, I'll just put this say 2 or 3 so you can see the chuffs. It builds up more smoke. And let's just bring that back again. And guys, how amazing does that look? That is absolutely fantastic. Now what I'll do while we've got it here like this, now I do notice sometimes, if you notice when this stops, the smoke can sometimes like stop working. So I don't know if that's just like an automatic thing where it just gets rid of the last bit of water or something like that. But for the minute, let's just shut this down and let's have a listen to some of the other sounds, because this Triple X, it really is sounding really lovely. Now what I have done with this, I have turned the sound down, so hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. But let's just have a little look. So we've got, I'm not keen on these, I wish they could change them, but we've got the multiple whistles. So we have, which sound really nice, and then we've got the really nice sounding ones. They sound, the last one maybe a little bit, but that sounds really nice. Have that little bit of an echo, that is just brilliant. We do have our light functions as well. So let me just gently slide this back in. So if you, let me see, when this runs as well, this also has a firebox flicker too. So when we get that on the track, you know, when it's bending around a little bit more, then we'll be able to have a good look at that and see that going too. And it is really, really lovely on this Locomotive. Wow, this is fantastic. This is literally everything that I could want in a model. And even, dare I say this, at the Hornby price tag, I still think that this is a incredible model, value for money wise. It is just that extra and then some more. I don't know if they will, but if Hornby watch this, just wow, and thank you for producing a ready to run model like this. And to be honest, for the price as well, for everything, for what it does, what you get. I know I've said it before, I am sorry, but this is just absolutely amazing. The value for money in this, for me, is just so far out there, especially when you can spend, say, £250, £260 for a Locomotive that doesn't come with sound, certainly doesn't come with a steam generator. This is, for me, this is a must-have in a collection. Just simply, this is an absolute must-have. Okay, so here we have it down on the layout. So, one thing that I will say about this as well, because this is water vapour compared to the oil, you know, you don't have to worry about getting, you know, oil all over your track, all over your Locomotive, and that is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's another bit of a positive too. So we are using the old camera because I do have to use the new camera to activate this. And yeah, let's set it off and then let's enjoy a bit of a running session. And then, well, after that, let's do a little summary before we let you go. So let's turn on the auto function. And look at that already. That looks so nice. And let's set it off. Okay, so let's just slowly bring this to a stop. Let's see where she's going to finish up. Brilliant. Now there is one thing I will point out. See here, the smoke is just starting to go off a little bit. It's not kind of as much as it was. Now, I haven't put the full amount of water in. I just put about 3 millilitres in it. And this thing has been running on and off for the past, like, yesterday when I got it and today filming and everything. And it's only just starting to go now. And I must have had this running for a good half an hour, if not longer. So you get an absolutely amazing run time out of this as well. with how much that you're putting in. So this is absolutely fantastic. So guys, what do you think of this locomotive? I think this is a game changer. It's absolutely fantastic. It looks stunning. It's ready to run out the box. Price wise is amazing. I do understand that still nearly £300 from Hornby is still a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, I'm not arguing that. But with prices of locos at the minute, I do think this is probably one of the best value steam locomotives that you're going to find. The steam, the sound already fitted, the 5-box flicker, the amount of detail what is on this is just absolutely incredible. So this is probably, since I bought the Merchant Navy a couple of years ago, this is probably my most highly recommended locomotive. If you've not already guessed, yeah, I kind of like this locomotive. So we are going to leave it there for this review. I know it's probably been a long one. I know I've gone on too much. I do apologise, but I hope you've enjoyed this review. You've enjoyed watching this locomotive. And with that being said, again, one last final. Wow. If you can get one of these in your collection before they run out, you will not regret it. So, with that being said, thank you very much for watching. Thumbs up, like and subscribe, and as always, we shall see you in the next video.